Imagine you are walking through the streets of the Roman Forum at the height of the Republic. The people are busy, merchants shouting, senators debating matters of state, and philosophers surrounded by disciples. But something catches your attention. The appearance of the men. It's not just the clothes they wear, nor their upright posture, nor the martial gestures. No, what truly stands out in this scene is their face, so polished and well kept. In fact, almost all men, especially those of the elite, seem to have a clean-shaven face, as smooth as the marble of the statues that decorate the temples. But if you look more closely, you'll discover that in Rome, the beard wasn't always seen the same way by everyone. Over the centuries, the beard in ancient Rome represented more than just a personal style. It was a symbol of identity, power, status, and philosophy. The beard didn't only speak about the man wearing it, but also about the society in which he lived. So how is it that the Romans, in their early days, decided to renounce the beard? And why, after centuries of rejection, did an emperor like Hadrian decide to adopt it? The history behind this is fascinating and full of unexpected twists, struggles for power, foreign influences, and philosophical changes that not only affected Roman culture, but also shaped the course of the male image in the Western world. In the early days of Rome, beards were not rare, but a common custom among the lower classes, farmers, and those outside the power circle. The beard was seen as something rustic, worn by men linked to the tough life of the fields, to the land, to nature. But when it came to the upper classes, the story changed. The leaders, generals, and senators of Rome preferred a clean-shaven face, a gesture that, more than an aesthetic matter, had a deep meaning in Roman society. Why? Because, like in many moments of history, appearance was a direct reflection of social status. The Romans saw the barbarian peoples as primitive and disorderly, and the beard was associated with that image. But for the Romans, this wasn't just about social etiquette, it was also about power. In a world where battles were fought not only on the battlefield but also in appearance, a shaved face represented discipline, control, and a direct connection to the idealized leader model, Alexander the Great. This is a crucial point. Alexander, a man who deeply admired Greek culture, was known for being clean-shaven, something that contradicted the tradition of his time. While in Greece the beard was a symbol of wisdom, of philosophers and scholars, Alexander the Great broke that tradition by adopting a clean face, something that would be emulated by the Romans. Roman generals, admirers of the image of power that Alexander represented, adopted shaving as their style. Pompey, Julius Caesar, and Mark Antony, figures that shaped Rome's future, were the first to follow Alexander's example, turning the shaved face into an emblem of Roman power. From that moment on, the clean-shaven face became the norm, not only among the military and senators, but throughout the Roman elite. Shaving represented distinction, education, and culture. It was a sign of civilized Rome, opposing barbarism. Shaving, then, was not just a style. It was a declaration of principles. Rome, the eternal city, the cradle of the empire, had no room for the beard. The beard was synonymous with something primitive and rudimentary. Shaving was synonymous with Rome, with its discipline and its power. This style remained for generations. The statues of emperors, the portraits of generals, and even artistic representations of important figures in Rome always showed perfectly shaved faces. It was a matter of image, of power, of a Rome that ruled the world with wisdom and control. However, all that began to change with the arrival of an emperor who broke all these traditions, Hadrian. Hadrian, who ruled from 117 to 138 AD, was a figure deeply influenced by Greek culture and its philosophical ideals. During his reign, the beard, which had long been rejected in Rome, began to gain ground. Hadrian was the first Roman emperor to prominently adopt the beard, a gesture that surprised everyone and broke centuries of tradition. Why did he do it? Was it just an act of rebellion, or was there something more behind his decision? Hadrian didn't just see the beard as a symbol of wisdom, but also as a way to align with the Greek ideals he so admired. In classical Greece, the beard was a symbol of intellectuals, philosophers, and wise men. Hadrian wanted his image to reflect this connection to Hellenistic culture, but perhaps he also wanted to represent a more human side of the imperial figure. The shaving that had been a symbol of control and power now seemed cold and distant. The beard, on the other hand, offered a warmer, more philosophical connection, a trait that humanized him in the eyes of his subjects. As expected, this decision by Hadrian had an immediate impact on the Roman world. The beard not only became an aesthetic feature, but also a symbol of deep thought and wisdom. During Hadrian's reign, many other emperors adopted the beard, from Antoninus Pius to Marcus Aurelius. For them, it was not just an act of imitation, but a way to show their respect for Greek culture and their attachment to philosophical values. The beard, once a symbol of the lower classes, transformed into a sign of intellectual nobility. But not all followed this path. Many later emperors, like Septimius Severus, returned to the shaved style, though with one difference. Now, the beard represented something deeper than just a sign of power. It became a reflection of the relationship between Rome and foreign cultures, and how the imperial Rome began to accept influences beyond its borders. The curious thing is that, despite the transition, the beard never lost its symbolic power in Rome. It remained a cultural marker, a dividing line between different philosophical, social, and political currents. Deep down, the beard represented the duality of Rome, the constant struggle between military power, represented by shaved faces, and the pursuit of wisdom, represented by bearded faces. Now, I want to know your opinion. If you had been in Rome at that time, would you have followed the example of the shaved emperors seeking to reflect control and discipline? Or would you have joined Hadrian and those who wore the beard as a symbol of wisdom and deep thinking? Leave your opinion in the comments. I want to know what you think about how the beard could define a man in that era. If you enjoyed this historical journey and are curious about how other aspects of Roman culture evolved over time, don't forget to give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming episodes. Also, if you're interested in learning more about the Roman Empire, I'll leave a video recommendation right here. See you in the next video.